Perspective. I'm your host, Mason Myslinski. Today, we're joined here by Illinois State Superintendent, Dr. Tony Sanders. I just want to say it's an honor to have you at the school, an honor to have you on the show here.
Thanks, Mason.
Yeah.
Glad to be with you today.
Yeah, no problem. So we can just get right into the question. So what does a typical day look like for the Illinois State Superintendent?
Oh boy, no 2 days are the same.
No?
So no, not at all. I tend to spend 2 days a week in Springfield in the state capital, usually 2 days in Chicago. And then one day I go out and visit schools every week. When schools are in session, I try to make sure I'm in schools one day every week.
And then do you live around Chicago? Or?
I do, yeah. I live out in the South Elgin, St. Charles area.
Okay.
So yeah, not too far from here.
Yeah, but kind of far from Springfield.
Far from Springfield. Yeah. They haven't given me a helicopter yet.
No,
I keep asking, but they keep telling me no. So, but no, it's a fun drive, but every day is different. During the legislative session, I end up in Springfield a lot, dealing with legislators, trying to get budgets passed that support schools.
Yeah.
A lot of my time is spent, working with the governor, and like tomorrow we'll be doing a press conference together. So just really traveling the state, trying to uplift public education.
Yeah, makes sense. So what inspired you to go into education and take on this leadership role?
That's a great question. So this is not my original calling. Actually, what you and I are doing was my first calling. My communications was where I went to school wanting to be on air, on the radio. And I actually lived that dream for the first couple of years after college. I studied mass communications in college, went on the radio, was on WFMB in Springfield for several years as a DJ. And then I realized that nobody told me that DJs don't make that much money unless you work in a big city. So I made the decision to join state government, and I started doing public relations work in state government.
Seems like a big jump there, doesn't it?
It was, yeah, so my transition's been really interesting. I was in state government for 15 years. I did government relations, public relations, but I'm a second generation state superintendent. My dad was the superintendent of public instruction in Illinois when I was in high school. And so when I was done working in state government, I took my first job in a public school district in St. Louis Public Schools, and I found this passion for serving kids. I realized then that my parents were right. I should have gone into public education. I should have been a teacher. And so I started figuring out what do I have to do then to get back into public education? That led me to a job in School District U46, which is Illinois' second largest school district. Yeah. I joined there. I actually worked with Dr. Skinkis. Yeah, we worked together 18 years ago. I was the chief communications officer in that school district and advanced to chief of staff and then superintendent. Went back to school. I got my master's and 2 doctorates. And then whenever this job came open, I applied for it, and after a very rigorous search process, the governor chose me to be the next state superintendent.
Yeah. Well, now you're at the top. You're on the ladder.
But it was not the original plan.
No. You were saying in the back that you kind of did some switching stuff. So when was that? Was that when you were in school before radio then?
Yeah, that was in school. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. College, I did a lot of that work. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you put me back there right now, this whole thing would be a major flop. So don't put me back there.
Okay. So what part of your job do you find most rewarding?
So being around students is the most rewarding. I don't know anybody that goes into public education to not be around kids. Yeah. If you don't like kids, then you shouldn't be in this job. And so for me, when I took this job, I told the governor I needed to be in schools at least one day a week. And if I couldn't be in schools, that it would just drain me. And so I've kept true to that promise. I visit, even if it's only for 2 hours, I'll visit a school a week just to make sure that I'm around kids and it brings me life again.
That's what you're working for.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the job.
We were lucky enough that you came and visited ours.
Yeah. Oh, no, I've been wanting to get to yours for a while. Yeah.
Well, we're honored to have you here.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
So if you could go back to when you were a high school student, what advice would you give to yourself?
So well, first of all, I think probably doing more exploration of possible careers. I told you I wanted to be a DJ. That was only based on a TV show that I had seen growing up. I didn't have any experience. Nobody talked to me about careers back whenever I was in high school. And so it just seemed like a logical career path because I liked what I saw on TV. That's not a good reason to go into a
TV
profession.
is fabricated.
Right? It is.
Yeah.
It's very fabricated. And so I think I would have, if I could talk to that 17-year-old me, I would have told me to go explore other opportunities. Maybe try out teaching or volunteer in something that, that interested me. But, that was a long time ago, though.
Okay. So we can move into our next little segment here.
Sure.
So how do you see like students today like shaping the future of our state?
Well, they absolutely are. Our students in Illinois are amazing, and the data actually shows that. Illinois ranks so high on so many national lists for great high schools and great students, and so absolutely Illinois students are going to lead the way, I think, as a country. As I visit schools to see the amount of empathy that I see in students is truly amazing. To see the level of interest that they have in their own academics. I hope teachers and principals and superintendents across the state all have some sort of an advisory to listen to their students' voices. Because if they were to listen, like we just were listening to our kids here today, and they're talking about this need for more hands-on experiences, more experiential learning, like this TV studio, or like the culinary program that you built here at Riverside Brookfield, or the applied zoology where you can go to an actual zoo right next door. Like no other student in the state has that opportunity. And so I think providing those hands-on opportunities for the students while they're still in high school just will lead every kid here to success. You're unlimited in your opportunities here at Riverside Brookfield.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah, I can't agree more. Like I've been given so much opportunity in this TV program here, and it's been a blessing.
Yeah.
So how can students best prepare themselves for like college or other career pathways, do you think?
Be engaged. Colleges and employers all want to see students who are well-rounded, right? They want to see students who didn't just focus on one specific area of study. They want to see that you explored different paths. They want to see that you've given back to your community. So volunteering is always a great thing to do if you're in high school.
Volunteer.
National Honor Society is a great thing to participate in. But I've not met one college, university president, or an employer that isn't looking for somebody who's well-rounded. And I think you see that even among your student body. Every student I talk to here today is involved in multiple things, whether it's theater or clubs or music. So get involved. Be involved in something.
Yeah, I can't agree more with that,
Yeah.
What opportunities do you see growing for Illinois students in like the next few years?
It's going to be an exciting time in public education. So first of all, we just changed the cut scores for what counts as proficiency for Illinois students, which I think is a great opportunity for our high schoolers.
Yeah, for more to excel.
So we went from, as you might recall, for many years we had the SAT exam that students took, and we just shifted to the ACT this last school year. For doing that, we needed to switch and actually set new cut scores. What is the score that a student needs to hit in order to be considered proficient and college ready? And for years, Illinois had an SAT cut score that was higher than what the College Board said was college ready.
Oh.
So we were sending this signal to kids that they weren't ready for college, which to me is just a tragedy. It does not make sense to me at all that we would set a cut score that's higher than what the national experts say is college ready. So we've reset that this year with the ACT. So for the first time in many years, in about 8 years, we're going to go back to telling kids exactly how they're performing on their assessments and not mislabeling students, potentially mislabeling students who were ready for college or high-end careers that they weren't ready. I don't think there's anything more deflating than getting a report card that says that you're not ready for college, especially when you are.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it was it was a shift here. This past year I was a junior last year, so I had to take the SAT and ACT. So.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think from my perspective, that's giving kids hope is part of our job here in public education, and we need to build those systems that create those opportunities and that hope for a brighter future. And so that was just one of the things that I think stood in the way. I think the other things that we're doing at the state level to continue the investment, number one is the state continues its annual investment in evidence-based funding. The governor has made a commitment to that. Legislators have made a commitment. Riverside Brookfield is a Tier 1 school district. That means that it is not funded at the same level as most other schools in the state. And that means that it gets a lot more state funding. Every time they invest more money, your district benefits. So that has to be a priority. The other priority is things like dual credit, things that are high, real rigorous courses. We want to see more AP, we want to see more dual credit programs for all students.
Yeah, I feel like here, we do have like a lot of people who are involved in dual credit and AP. We have a lot of stuff with Triton here. A lot of kids go to Triton and they get, credits for that.
You can't beat it, right? You go to college, you already have some credits knocked out.
Yeah, and you could start school. A lot of people I know, they start school basically as a sophomore almost from all the credits they're able to get here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is
it's a great
amazing
investment.
So just for like a final thing here, what message would you like to send to kind of our Bulldog community here?
Be tenacious. Never give up. I told you that I'm a second-generation state superintendent. My father passed away last September, and I was blessed that he was able to see me in this role for a couple of months, and that was meaningful. To be a father-son state superintendent is it's never happened before in the history of the country, and might not ever happen again. And so, but my education career was not the best. I really struggled in school. I struggled to read. I struggled to do math. I was really far behind. In fact, when I was entering 4th grade, the principal pulled me out of a classroom and put me into a self-contained special education classroom.
You did.
And if it weren't for the fact that my father was state superintendent, I might have remained in that special education classroom. And so I think recognize the privilege that you have, and if you do have that privilege, spread that privilege to others. I think that's part of our job in public education. But the point is that nothing stops you from becoming what you want to become. The kid that struggled to read in 4th grade, I got all the interventions that was necessary to go on to high school, to be successful, to graduate high school actually a year early, to go on to college, get a bachelor's degree, master's degree, and eventually now have 2 doctorates. So nothing prevents you from becoming whatever you want to become. So show yourself. Just show up. Yeah. You can do it.
All right. Well, I want to thank you so much for being on the show today.
Pleasure.
It was a pleasure having you here, and it was a pleasure showing you around the studio earlier.
Thanks, Mason.
Yeah. So
Great to meet you
so much. Yeah. So thank you for tuning in to People in Perspective. We'll see you next time.